Thank you, Samant. For this presentation, I'll be talking about some of our recovery workflows supporting our offshore decommissioning operations. And please note, all data is for demonstration purposes only. So the offshore Gippsland Basin in Southeast Australia is a mature oil and gas basin with over 50 years of production. ExxonMobil are the operator of 24 facilities with over 1,000 kilometres of offshore pipeline and over 800 wells, many of which have already been P&A'd. Some facilities are almost 90 kilometres from shore in up to 400 metres of water. And to put decommissioning into context, a report by Advisian suggests there is more than $50 billion of decommissioning works to be done on Australia's offshore oil and gas infrastructure. So a subsea material register has been created to support some of our decommissioning operations. This is essentially a single database of debris and unused equipment categorized by location, type, size, weight, etc., with a workflow built around it. We're creating simple integrated workflows for non-GIS users, from data review and activity planning to field deployment and reporting. So why the Esri platform? The ArcGIS Online environment allows us to display our data spatially alongside other data sets for more informed decision making. We can create focused apps that allow us to engage a workforce of non-GIS professionals and enable them to be self-sufficient. It's accessible to third parties, and this can often be a huge challenge for some companies when it comes to working collaboratively. Offline capabilities for fieldwork, agile development of focused solutions, we can be very responsive and turn around updates quickly. An important aspect of this work was early engagement with the GIS team. This early engagement was critical in shaping the initial spreadsheet design and key fields. From the initial spreadsheet, we spatialized and geo-enriched the dataset in Pro, published it to ArcGIS Online, and did a mock-up of the dashboard and survey form. And using this data, we ran some desktop exercises. And I really encourage people to do this step. It gets you thinking about the possible scenarios you need to accommodate and can quickly highlight gaps in your data and workflows. So we incorporated the updates from the desktop exercise, exported the updated data set with the final table structure. Then the final hosted feature was built with Survey 123 Connect. And there are a few reasons for using Survey 123 Connect to do this. It can be quicker and easier to build your table, and your feature gets published at the same time, and also you have a survey. So once we appended the draft data back into the final data set, we could start building the final apps. At the same time, the customer continued to review the spreadsheet. So we had some parallel development going on, and once the spreadsheet review was complete, we deleted the contents of the final hosted feature, appended the updated spreadsheet data, and were ready to go live. Data was combined from multiple sources and multiple vintages collected by multiple service companies. Data wasn't captured with decommissioning in mind, so we're really transforming this data to accommodate our needs. Consolidation and standardization were the main tasks initially, and data prep was done in both Excel and Pro. Throughout the initial stage of development, the early engagement between the customer and the GIS team and the desktop exercises were critical as we moved forward. And understanding the requirements helped us design the attribute table to achieve better results. So attributes really drive your functionality. The Subsea material register workflow can be split into two components: the office-based review, planning, reporting workflows, and the field-based recovery workflows. Data can be reviewed via a dashboard and work programs assigned with Web App Builder. In the field, summary reports can be used for reference, and the Survey 123 field app is used to update recovery status. Following this, summary reports can be generated for KPI reporting, stakeholder reporting, etc. So ArcGIS Hub is the launching point for all web-based activity. Accessible from the homepage of ArcGIS Online means all users have easy access to content without needing to save individual links to individual apps. This really simplifies accessibility and is one of the biggest advantages to using Hub. And Hub can be as simple or as involved as necessary and grow with the business needs. Story maps are a great way of sharing information. And in this context, we're using story maps for user guides. And there are two key benefits to this. We no longer have to send out documentation to third parties, and all users are looking at the same version. And apps can be launched directly from the user guides. And if you're online, they can also be accessed from the Survey 123 app in the field. Dashboards, as you would expect, are used to show a visual summary of the data. Data can be quickly and easily filtered through multiple elements. And I like to include a filtered record count indicator to help the user identify if there are any active filters. An embedded Survey 123 form enables editing of individual records. An example of this would be if an item was not able to be recovered in the field. The dashboard can be filtered to show records where recovery failed, and the survey can be used to update the weight classification, for example. Something I like to do with a dashboard is to increase the flash repeat count from the default of 3 to give you a bit more time to take in any changes and filtering that may occur when a selection is made. Web App Builder is primarily used for batch editing workflows with the Batch Attribute Editor widget. Records can be filtered by attributes and a work program can be assigned accordingly. And once that program is assigned, the survey inbox filter can be updated to return only those records assigned to that program. Data can also be exported through Web App Builder through the attribute table. Survey 123 Connect was used to author surveys. And as we are working with existing records, the inbox is the primary method for completing surveys in the field. Depending on how many recovery campaigns are active, multiple surveys, all pointing to the same hosted feature, may be in use, each with a different filter for the inbox based on the campaign. This ensures only the records that are part of the campaign are pulled through the inbox. The inbox is refreshed prior to going into the field, so the surveys can be completed regardless of connectivity. And you can edit the max record count property of your feature service if you need to pass more than 1,000 records through the inbox. The Survey 123 website allows us to create feature reports and summary reports. And with the introduction of summary reports, we're able to report on both total counts, selected records, and records that meet query parameters. And once you configure your template, it's easy to generate reports for management, KPIs, the field, and so on without requiring any data preparation or exporting of data. And you can create reports even if you don't use Survey 123. All you need to do is create a survey with your data to generate the survey form item. And then once you have this item, your data will be available in the Survey 123 website. One of the biggest wins from all this work is the customers becoming self-sufficient. And this is a big win for the customer as well as the GIS team. We also have multiple users, including third parties, all looking at the same hosted feature or a version of that hosted feature. And we are now looking at a complete basin-wide data set, and we can bring in other data sets to add more context. Focused, simple apps mean minimal training required. Fieldwork can be completed offline, and we can be very responsive to update and enhancement requests. And here are some additional resources: the Advision Decommissioning Report, editing the flash repeat count with the ArcGIS Online Assistant, and updating the max record count of a feature service. So thank you for listening. I hope you got something out of this presentation. And if you have any questions, please bring them up during the Q&A session or feel free to send me an email. Thank you.